Today, we're diving deep into the story of a global superstar, an artist who has dominated the charts and defined a generation of music. That's right, we're talking about the one and only Drake. But how did Aubrey Graham, a kid from Toronto, become the certified lover boy of the music industry? Let's get into it. Our story begins in Toronto, Canada, where Aubrey Drake Graham was born on October 24, 1986. Raised by his mother, Sandy Graham, an educator, in the city's diverse Forest Hill neighborhood, Drake's childhood was shaped by a unique blend of cultures. His father, Dennis Graham, an African-American drummer from Memphis who worked with legends like Jerry Lee Lewis, and his Ashkenazi Jewish Canadian mother, gave him a rich, multicultural background. His parents divorced when he was just 5, and he spent most of his time with his mother in Toronto, with summers in Memphis connecting with his father's musical roots. This dual city upbringing would later heavily influence his sound, blending the introspective, moody vibes of Toronto with the soulful swagger of the American South. Before he ever dropped a beat, Drake was a familiar face on television. At 15, he landed the role that would introduce him to the world, Jimmy Brooks on the hit Canadian teen drama, Degrassi, The Next Generation. For 7 seasons, he played the popular basketball star who becomes disabled after a school shooting. This role wasn't just a gig, it was his first taste of fame and, more practically, a way to support his family. While acting paid the bills, Drake's true passion was brewing behind the scenes. He was constantly writing lyrics, honing his craft, and dreaming of a music career that seemed worlds away from the television studio. Juggling acting and music wasn't easy. Drake would film for 12 hours a day, and then head straight to the recording studio, often working until the early hours of the morning. In 2006, he took a leap of faith and released his first mixtape, Room for Improvement. It was a raw, ambitious project that showcased his lyrical abilities and melodic sensibilities. While it didn't set the world on fire, it got people talking. He followed it up in 2007 with Comeback Season, which featured a track that would change everything, Replacement Girl, featuring Trey Songz. The song his music video became the first ever from an unsigned Canadian artist to be featured on BET. The buzz was getting louder. The real turning point came in 2009 with his third mixtape, So Far Gone. This project was a game changer. It was polished, emotionally resonant, and sonically innovative, blending R&B melodies with confident rap verses. The standout single, Best I Ever Had, exploded. It was everywhere, dominating radio airwaves and climbing the Billboard charts. The industry couldn't ignore him anymore. A massive bidding war erupted, with every major label trying to sign the kid from Toronto. In the end, Drake made a characteristically smart move. He signed with Lil Wayne's Young Money Entertainment, a partnership that would prove to be legendary. With the backing of one of rap's biggest stars, Drake was no longer just a promising up-and-comer. He was on the launchpad to superstardom. In 2010, Drake released his official debut album, Thank Me Later. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard 100, cementing his status as a commercial powerhouse. But Drake was just getting started. It was his 2011 sophomore album, Take Care, that truly defined his artistic identity. Take Care was a masterpiece of vulnerability and introspection. Tracks like Marvin's Room and Headlines showcased a new kind of rap star, one who isn't afraid to be emotional, to sing about heartbreak and insecurity. The album was a critical and commercial smash, winning him his first Grammy for Best Rap Album and influencing a whole new generation of artists who followed his melodic, emotionally open blueprint. He had created his own lane. Hey guys, just jumping in here for a second. If you're enjoying this deep dive into Drake's journey, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We put a ton of work into these videos, and your support means we can keep telling the stories of the artists you love. We've got so many more biographies and music histories planned that you won't want to miss. Alright, let's get back to the story of how Drake built his empire. The years following Take Care saw Drake enter a phase of unprecedented dominance. His 2013 album, Nothing Was the Same, gave us anthems like Started From the Bottom and Hold On, We're Going Home, proving he could deliver both hard-hitting rap bangers and smooth pop hits. He wasn't just a rapper or a singer, he was a pop culture phenomenon. He coined phrases that entered the global lexicon, like YOLO and The Six, his affectionate nickname for Toronto that put his hometown on the hip-hop map in a way no one had before. In 2015, he surprised everyone by dropping the mixtape If You're Reading This It's Too Late, a project that showcased a more aggressive, confident Drake.
Just a few months later, he teamed up with Future for the collaborative mixtape What a Time to Be Alive. He was operating at a pace no one could match, flooding the market with quality music.
This era also saw him engage in one of the most memorable rap beefs of the decade with Meek Mill,
where his strategic and cutting diss track back-to-back was widely seen as a decisive victory, further solidifying his reputation as a shrewd operator.
Then came 2016's Views.
This album was a love letter to Toronto and its seasons, and it delivered one of the biggest songs of his career, One Dance. The track became a global sensation, topping charts in over 15 countries, and becoming the first song to hit 1 billion streams on Spotify.
Another hit from the album, Hotline Bling, became a cultural moment, with its iconic music video spawning countless memes and parodies.
At this point, Drake wasn't just competing on the charts, he was the chart.
He was breaking records set by the Beatles and Michael Jackson.
His commercial dominance was simply undeniable. Beyond the music, Drake proved himself to be a brilliant businessman and cultural curator. He founded his own record label, OVO Sound, which stands for October's very own. OVO became a launchpad for artists like Party Next Door, Majid Jordan, and DVSN, all of whom shared Drake's moody, atmospheric sound.
OVO evolved from a record label into a full-fledged lifestyle brand, complete with a clothing line, an annual music festival in Toronto, and a global radio show.
Drake had successfully built an entire ecosystem around his brand, creating a powerful cultural force that extended far beyond his own albums.
He also made strategic investments and partnerships, including becoming the global ambassador for the Toronto Raptors, helping to elevate the team's brand and presence internationally.
As the decade came to a close and we moved into the 2020s, Drake showed no signs of slowing down.
His 2018 album Scorpion was a massive double album that gave us the viral hits Goddess Plan, Nice for What, and In My Feelings. He continued to experiment with his sound, dropping the Dark Lane demo tapes in 2020,
and finally releasing his long-awaited album Certified Lover Boy in 2021, which, true to form, broke streaming records and dominated the charts.
He followed this with two surprise albums, The House influenced Honestly, Nevermind in 2022, and the collaborative project Her Loss with 21 Savage, proving he's still willing to take creative risks and keep his audience guessing.
So, what is Drake's ultimate legacy?
He's more than just a hitmaker. He fundamentally changed the sound of modern pop and hip-hop, blurring the lines between rapping and singing and making vulnerability a strength. He put his city, Toronto, on the center of the world stage.
He mastered the art of the meme and the viral moment, understanding the internet age better than almost any other artist. From the kid on Degrassi to the global ambassador of the Six, Aubrey Drake Graham's story is a masterclass in talent, strategy, and relentless ambition.
He truly started from the bottom, and now he's here, firmly cemented on the throne of modern music.
Thank you so much for watching. What's your favorite Drake album or song? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content.
We'll see you in the next one.